Scientists' terrifying new discovery at Yellowstone Park changes everything. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Many people think space is full of fearful things, which is true. However, you don't need to hop on a space rocket to find something that will scare the living daylight out of you, because they are about here on Earth. And because they are here on this planet, many of these terrifying things can affect you. One huge example is the latest terrifying thing that scientists just uncovered at the Yellowstone National Park. What is it? And how does it affect you anywhere in the world that you might live? Join us as we dive into the scientists' terrifying new discovery at Yellowstone National Park. The US is truly a huge place, covering 3.8 million square miles. Within that large land mass are uncountable natural attractions that receive visits from millions of people worldwide. They include lakes, waterfalls, deserts, etc. However, among these attractions, the government has carved out some of the special attentions because of their importance. These are the national parks, really vast wonders of nature. The US Congress made Yellowstone the first national park in America in 1872. In the years that followed, environmentalists lobbied for wilderness preservations throughout the American West to create several more national parks and monuments. And in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson established the National Park Service to consolidate America's federal parklands management under one agency. Today, the National Park Service manages 84 million acres across all U.S. states and territories, an area bigger than the whole territory of Germany. These parks, numbering 423, have served as a model for countries around the world. Out of all the parks designated as national in the U.S., the Yellowstone was the most visited in 2020 with almost 4 million visitors. There are enough attractions in the Yellowstone to keep people coming back. Sprawling across a basalt plateau in the northwest corner of the state of Wyoming, this magnificent wilderness area spills into neighboring Idaho and Montana. It forms the heart of the greater Yellowstone ecosystems, one of the world's largest and best preserved temperate zone ecosystems. As one of Wyoming's top attractions, this park is famous for its spectacular scenery, diverse ecosystems, and fascinating geothermal wonders. Yellowstone is home of the world's largest number of active geysers and offers a window into the powerful forces deep beneath the Earth's crust. The same forces that shaped this park and its dazzling and dramatic landscapes. The scenery ranges from snaking rivers and sweeping green valleys to vast lakes, canyons, thundering waterfalls, and hissing lunar-like landscape. Each season paints a dramatically different scene. From the lush greens and sparkling blues of spring and summer, you can spot herds of bison and elk grazing across the riverbanks, to false fiery reds, oranges, and golds, where fearsome grizzlies and black bears gorge on berries, to the wide wonderland of the freezing winter. A visit to Yellowstone is not complete without a stopover at the geyser known as Old Faithful. It is named for the regularity of which it erupted, shooting columns of water high up into the air from between 35 minutes to 120 minutes, with an average interval of about 92 minutes. Not far from the Old Faithful is the Black Sand Basin, one of the most colorful spots in the park. You can also hike on the Mount Washburn Trail or take in the sights of the awe-inspiring Grand Canyon and the upper and lower falls. However, one of the biggest attractions in Yellowstone is the volcanic system, and this is where things get scary. Many visitors to Yellowstone might not know this, but the volcanic events in the park can affect everything in every part of the planet, as you shall soon see. We began our story of the Yellowstone volcanic systems about 66 million years ago when the Cenozoic era started. The area now occupied by the park was sculptured by widespread mountain-forming volcanic events. However, rumblings have continued underneath our feet to this day. Magma, the molten rock that you find below the Earth's crust, is close to the surface in the greater Yellowstone area. This shallow body of magma caused by heat convection in the mantle. Consequently, plumes of magma rise through the mantle, melting rocks in the crust and creating magma reservoirs of partially molten, partially solid rock. Mantle plumes transport heat from deep in the mantle to the crust and creates hotspot volcanism. These hotspots leave a trail of volcanic activity as tectonic plates drift over them, as the North American plate drifted westward over the last 16.5 million years. The hotspot that now resides under the greater Yellowstone area left a swath of volcanic deposits across Idaho's Snake River Plain. The heat rising from the mantle plume has melted rocks in the crust and created two magma chambers of partially molten, partially solid rock near Yellowstone's surface. The heat from the shallowest magma chamber caused an area of the crust above it to expand and rise. Stress on the overlying crust resulted in increased earthquake activity along newly formed faults. Eventually, these faults reached to magma chamber and magma oozed through the cracks. When the magma escaped, it released pressure within the chamber, allowing volcanic gases to escape and expand explosively in a massive volcanic eruption. The eruption spewed an enormous amount of volcanic ash and gas into the atmosphere and produced fast, super hot debris flows or pyroclastic flows over the existing landscape. With the underground magma chamber empty, the ground above it collapsed and creates the first of Yellowstone's three calderas. These eruptions happened 2.1 million years ago and easily ranked among the largest volcanic eruptions known to man. It covered 5,790 square miles with ash, reaching as far away as Missouri. For context, the total volcanic material ejected is estimated to have been 6,000 times the volume of material ejected during the 1980s eruptions of Mount St. Helens in Washington. A second significant volcanic eruptions would occur about 800,000 years later. However, it was smaller and occurred within the western edge of the first caldera. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.